So everybody's been talking about Pod, but there's not a lot of stuff out there about it. So I just thought I'd show y'all how to use it. So when you open up Pod, you're gonna see at the bottom you got My Pods, you got Discover, Inbox, Profile, and Map. So first I'm gonna show you My Pods. This is where your pods are, and pods are little micro communities that you could share. You can create them in 2 seconds. You can grow them. You could leave them. So there's just a lot of stuff you could do with them. I'm gonna show you how. So, for example, if you hold your finger on a pod, you could see here, you could join the chat, you could share the pod, you could see a members list, and you can map the pod. If you just tap the pod real quick, it'll go right into the chat first. So, we're inside this music pod, and I could add photos, I could chat, I could say things, and I could also come up here and I can click this blue plus guy to get to the share. And that's the same share if you long press. So I'll come back over to music. I hold my finger down. I choose share pod. I could text this pod to my contacts. If I was in person with someone, they could just open up their phone camera and hold it over this little square QR code, and that will join them to the pod. Or they could click the share button and like post it to Facebook or Instagram or other places, email. And then coming back, if I hold my finger, I could get the members list. And this is pretty cool. It's going to show you all the members in the pod. They got this little locator icon, or you could just tap their name if you want to go to where they are on the map. So Pod's pretty cool. You could connect with people all around the world if they're nearby. So, for example, if I click on Angelo, you could see here that it's going to show me where he is in New York. He's got live location on, so he's sharing his location. So him and I, we got some things in common. You see down at the bottom, the tags tell me, the blue tags tell me that him and I have some things in common, and we're both inside the music pod. So it tells us the pod that we're in and our interest tags in common. And by the way, if you click this eyeball, you could not share your live location, but I think almost everybody shares the live location because I'll show you in a second on the map. That's one of the cool things about Pod. Makes it a little different. If you zoom out right here, you see a map of the world and all the people joining pods. And like New York classical music, it's saying these are people that I have things in common with. And you could really just zoom the map in just like you use Google Maps anywhere in the world. And you could zoom right into Manhattan, for example. And then you can use the search to just search for anybody. Like if I put in music right here, I'm going to get people all over Manhattan that have music as an interest tag. So that part's pretty cool, the mapping feature. Let me show you another trick. If, for example, you're in a pod and you just want to see where everybody in that pod is on the world, you could actually just go to, I don't know, it looks like there's a hiking group right here. And if I choose map pod from the long list location, it's going to zoom out. And it's going to show me where all these people in the world are that join this hiking lovers pod. So I'm thinking like when they get like thousands of people in a pod, you could be anywhere in the world and find people that are into whatever you're into. If you're into an NFL team or you're into business networking, you're going to be able to be at a hotel anywhere in the world. And when people have their live location on, they could connect with you. So let's go back over here and let me just show a pod that I host. Because the host has certain features. The host can click this green plus button, put a little announcement on the top, and only the host could do that. Nobody could do that. So when people come in the chat, they can see these hosts, you know. And so it's pretty cool. Another thing a host could do, a host can tap this red X right here in the members list, and they could remove that person in all of their messages because it's their pod. So, and messaging people is easy. If you could, well, let me go back to that. You could, if you find somebody, let's go to the members list. If you find somebody and you tap the messages button, you can send them a message right there. Or if you ever find somebody on the map, you can send them a message right from their profile. So it's pretty cool. And you can invite them to pods and stuff. So everybody's probably, let me just show you could leave a pod by just tapping leave pod. So in creating a pod is really quick. It takes like 2 seconds. This is it. And then next you click public or private. Now, if you click private, then only people who you share the pod with are going to be able to use it or join it. And if you click public, then it's going to go into the directory. And the directory is just a place where you can find pods to join. You can find different things to do. There's thousands of pods, so you can just, you know, business network, animal lovers. You can just find a pod that you like, or you can create your own real quick and share it with your friends and family. Inbox is where people have conversations one-on-one. So it's not a group like a pod, but if there's somebody in a pod that you want to connect with, it just goes right in the inbox. You could chat with them. Same thing, share pictures and stuff. Now this profile is pretty cool because your profile is where you can add tags, and that's how you get matched with people. So like if I have craft beer as a, now if you hold your finger on it, you could actually remove the tag. You get that red X if you hold your finger, but anybody in the world can open up that map and type in craft beer, and I'm gonna come up, which is really nice. You can see people who've been checking out your profile, which is really cool. And again, the last piece is the map, which we got to from the other. I got the filter on right now. If you look at the top, the green, showing members in hiking group. But if I click the X, I'll just go back to everybody. So not just showing members in hiking group. And you can see all over the place that there's people. So, but you know what? If you wanted to connect with another real estate agent, just to do some networking, I can come on down to Florida and see they got real estate agents who are live right now on location. And then you gotta get, the more people they have, the closer you gotta get, because it's gotta break it up. So you're down on Pompano Beach and you can just use your finger and tap somebody. You can message, you could connect, you get together. You could even share their profile if you click that button. But this is just an overview of Pod. So I think you gotta get out there and use it.